Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jyoti Sharma, Senior Scientist and Head Research Development and Innovation, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Today we all are here to discuss about issues and challenges in women in science, technology, engineering and mathematics. We can call it as STEM. So today's learning outcomes, after watching this video, you will be able to recognize some of the key issues significant to a woman's career in STEM professions. Identify various societal, cultural and institutional factors which shape, influence and control education and career path of women in STEM disciplines. Stereotypes and myths which subtly control women's exclusion from science education and career, and develop effective strategies for promoting and retaining women in STEM fields. So what are the challenges and what is the global perspective for women in STEM? There is a persistent gender gap in women in STEM. Women in STEM are often treated as passive recipients of knowledge rather than creators. Ongoing contribution versus inequalities. So women have contributed significantly. If you will see, there are many women basically in biology areas where they worked a lot on cholera, cancer, research, stem cells, but yet gender gaps persist worldwide. It's not only in India, but if you will see, the gender gap in STEM is there in all developed and developing countries. Even UNESCO emphasizes that to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals requires a transformative, knowledge building culture, eliminating disparities in education access. UNESCO report in 2017, Cracking the Code, highlights that while more women are entering in STEM, they are still underrepresented in STEM occupations. It is globally recognized that girls' and women's access to science education is a key focus in international agendas, including the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. If you will see the data, you will find women make up only 1/3 of the global scientific community, and there is a very little change over the past decade. In some countries, less than 10% of researchers are women. If you will see the data of G20 countries, women hold just 22% of STEM jobs. Leadership gap is there. The data reveal that only 1 in 10 STEM leaders is a woman. So why does gender matter in STEM? Why we are discussing these challenges, issues, and if the number of women representation is less in STEM, what will happen? STEM drives innovation, growth and solutions for global challenges. Women make up nearly half of the world's population but are underrepresented in STEM careers. If gender diversity is there, it will enhance the creativity, problem solving and innovations in STEM fields. It will impact the real world. How? Gender gaps lead to missed innovation, unaddressed biases and incomplete solutions. For example, AI systems often fail to recognize women's voice due to lack of diverse inputs. Underrepresentation in STEM affects research quality and societal outcomes. Lack of women in STEM leads to biased research and technology that may overlook women's need. If women are not involved equally in research, they may not be able to understand the need of women and how technology can empower women to overcome their challenges and issues. Equal access to STEM education and careers is essential for a fair and inclusive society. Encouraging women in STEM helps close economic and social gap worldwide. So what is the scenario in India? What is the condition of women in science in Indian scenario? If you will see the data, you will find women makes up only 16.6% of full-time researchers in India's science and technology sector. In 2000 to 2001, only 14% of women were researchers. So, from 14 to reach at 16.6%, it takes almost a decade. So, this is a very slow progress. Women constitute a small fraction of principal investigators. Principal investigators means where women are leading any research or scientific projects. This data is very small. Approximate 21% women are leading any research project, which is very less as compared to their male colleagues. So, we understand that women are more represented in life sciences but less in engineering and technology fields. You may find many women doctors, but you may not find many women engineers or technologists. So, despite growing numbers at entry level education, women are underrepresented in senior and leadership roles in research institutions. It indicates that at entry level, many women are there, or almost equal women as compared to the male students. But what happened when they reach at the leadership positions? Number decreases. So, there are many factors which contribute to underrepresentation. These may include societal expectations, workplace bias, and career breaks. So, there are many myths and stereotypes in STEM which stop women to be a part of science and technology. Gender stereotypes shape societal beliefs about male and female roles, occupations, and masculine versus feminine work. Common myths push women back in STEM. For example, generally you must have been heard, girls are bad at maths. Is it true? No, it's not true. So these stereotypes create fear and self-doubt, making girls feel less capable in science and especially in mathematics. Reality, what is the reality? Girls are equally capable and can perform as boys perform in STEM careers. A experiment called Draw a Scientist test was conducted in Australia, China, Greece, USA, which reflects that gender bias and stereotyping exist in our society. When children aged 5 to 11 years were asked to draw a picture of scientists, only about 10% drew female scientists. The 90% students drew male as scientists. Why? Because our society always perceives that all scientists are male. And most female scientists were drawn by girls themselves, highlighting societal bias. But if you will see the different reports, international competitions like Trades in International Mathematics and Science Study, which called TIMSS, findings on gender and math performance, it shows that girls perform equally well or better than boys in math and science in many countries. Several other studies found that boys and girls have similar natural abilities in math and science. There is no significant difference in their intelligence or their potential to perform good in mathematics or any technological areas as compared to their male colleagues or male students. So, the gender gap in math achievement has significantly narrowed over recent decades. Why? Because of change in our societal system. It indicates that performance differences are mostly due to societal and cultural influences, not because girls are less capable to perform in these kind of subjects. So these findings debunk the myth that girls are bad at maths. Promoting equal opportunities and support helps girls thrive in STEM field. It indicates if we are providing inclusive environment or a better environment, any girl can perform well as compared to their boys students. Another report from Program for International Student Assessment Mathematics, PISA, PISA indicates that Singapore is one of the top 5 countries in PISA and their female and male students perform equally. Why? Because the Singaporean system proves that the girls can be world leaders in mathematics when placed in the right education environment. It means our societal education environment plays a very important role for the performance of girls in difficult subjects like mathematics, physics, technology. Another myth is most women are disinterested in careers in engineering, physics and ICT. Even if you will see the data from Indian community or Indian education system, you will find more women, more girls in the field of biology as compared to engineering, physics or other technological subjects. But that's not true. Women's participation in STEM increases in inclusive cultural environments, a conducive cultural environment where there is an expectation that girls will become engineers, improve their participation. If you will see the data from other countries where environment is supportive, for example, there are 40% engineers in China, 44% engineering graduates in Malaysia, 58% of engineers in the former USSR. But in contrast of all this data, women are poorly represented in engineering in Australia, which is a developed country. Only 14% of women are in the field of engineering and technology. So, is there a glass ceiling? Yes, there are many reasons for this glass ceiling. There are many reasons for all these challenges and these issues whatever women are facing in the field of STEM. The first, lack of family support, especially in balancing career and in the personal life. This fact is true mostly in Western countries where joint families are very limited. The second is insufficient mentorship to guide and advocate for women's career growth. You will find if you have a good mentor in your life, your career path will become comparatively easy because your mentor may help you to find the right way to reach at the right stage at the right time. Lack of visible role models in senior STEM positions to inspire and motivate women. The importance of role models are very important in any field, but this is very much important in the area of science and technology. Once any girl, child see any woman as her role model, she always try to become like her. Whatever challenges are there in her life, she always try to overcome those challenges and try to find her path to reach at the ultimate goal. There are many unconscious biases that affect hiring, promotion and evaluation processes. Sometimes women are there at the entry level, at the middle level, but many few women are there at the leadership position. What play very important role when we go and choose a woman for any leadership position? There are sometimes many unconscious bias which affect the promotion or the selection of women for any leadership position. Obstacles are there to come back or for the re-entry after break for their maternity and family care. We all know women sometimes take break because of their social responsibilities. So, if there is obstacle to come back in the mainstream after fulfilling the motherhood responsibility or any other social responsibilities, these kind of things sometimes become obstacle for her life. Challenges in accepting and supporting women's motherhood responsibilities in the workplace is another challenge because another issue because sometimes offices or organizations are not very welcoming when women are coming back after having a break in her career because she may not be updated in her own area or in technology areas. Lack of awareness regarding available opportunities because there are many women-centric schemes regulated or implemented through Government of India. but sometimes because of lack of awareness about their policies or their programs which can be helpful to boost their career in STEM. Lack of opportunities for an alternate career path, like as a woman or as a mother, if I am unable to spend my full day. So, there is lack of opportunities where I can go and opt alternate career path for the half day or part time job, or if I am unable to join my lab for the full time researcher, then I have to see any alternative pathway where I can spend my 4 hours in a day, or where can I work from home and can contribute in the writing part of the STEM education. Lack of avenues of self-employment and entrepreneurship. So if I really want to become an entrepreneur in the area of science and technology, I really need different avenues wherein I can be a self-employed. Lack of representation in higher forums, committees and high decision making positions. If you will go on different websites like Science Academy's website, where any male or woman scientist can become fellow of these academies, you will find only 8 to 11% of women are fellows of science academies. So there is a very lack or very less representation of women scientists in higher committees, which is also a challenge and issue, because when less women will represent in higher committees, so other women will not be able to promote the junior women scientist. Career retention, sustainability issues due to relocation challenge. So what is this relocation challenge? For example, if husband is transferring from one place to another place, or any family is shifting from one city to another city, it's hard to find a job for women scientists. So these are the few challenges and issues to retain women in science or STEM education or area. So what may be the pathways to empower women scientists to retain her in STEM area? The first is the policies. So we have to implement. If you will find the Ministry of Science and Technology website, there are many departments like Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology and other scientific ministries. You will find many policies and women-centric programs where government always try to support or overcome the challenges of women scientists and help them to retain in STEM education or STEM career. So we have to implement gender supportive policies in education and workplaces. Second, every woman has to stay self-motivated and focused on long-term goals. Build faith in ourselves and challenge limited beliefs. Work hard and stay consistent in learning and professional growth. There may be some issues and challenges, but if you will stay consistent, if you will be a hard-working woman, then definitely you will be able to achieve your ultimate goal. Find a good mentor for guidance and advocacy. I already explained about the role of mentor and role of role model. These two are very important in any area. But if you are in STEM, then it's very important to find a good mentor and become a good mentor for other junior women also, and be a role model for others. Seek inspiring role models in STEM. So you can become a role model and you can also find a role model for yourself. Encourage joint family or shared support system to balance responsibilities. Either it's a office or our home. If we have a shared responsibility, it will help us to grow further. Support other women through collaboration, respect and solidarity. So if we will work as a cohesive, if we will create a cohesive environment, it will help us as well as other fellow women scientists also. So these were the challenges, issues, how we can overcome. I covered all these, but now I am just giving you direction for future research. So you can examine persistent gender gaps across STEM field and career stages, because at every stage there are different challenges, different gaps. So you can just take up any one of this as your research. Study the impact of stereotypes and biases on girls' and women's STEM choices and performance. Investigate effectiveness of interventions such as mentorship, role models, and STEM outreach programs. Though I already explained, there is lack of awareness sometimes. So STEM outreach programs are really useful programs to create the awareness among girls or women who would like to be in scientific areas. Explore family, workplace, and societal factors influencing women's career progression. Access policies for career re-entry, flexible work, and support for motherhood. So we can just see if crutch is available in any organization and how we can support newly mother to retain her in the organization. Analyze institutional culture and leadership practices that shape women's experience in STEM. And last but not the least, evaluate technology development for gender bias in AI, data science, and design. With this, I would like to stop here and hope that you will learn from this unit and you will come out with your own research and your findings. Thank you, everyone.